Good morning, folks. It's your bro, Richie Rich here. Today in this video is now part 9 on the Chevy Corvette. Today in this video, I am now doing the next part, which is the NASA Corvettes. So the ones that were used for space, also for like outer space and all that kind of stuff. So before I get started, make sure you all like the video, subscribe, comment down below what you guys think, hit the notification bell, and hit all so you're alerted when I make brand new uploads. Alright, so without any further ado, let's begin. So the NASA Corvettes. So Jim Rathman, a Melbourne, Florida. So Jim Rathman, so his full name is Royal Richard Jim Rathman, born July 16th, 1928 in Alhambra, San Gabriel Valley, region of LA County, California. So 8 miles east from downtown LA. So from the downtown LA Civic Center. So it's like 13 kilometers, so 8 miles. Born July 16th, so Jim Rathman, who's a race car driver. His full name is Royal Richard Jim Rathman. Born July 16th, 1928. Passed away at age 83 on November 23rd. So November 23rd, 2011, in Melbourne. So in the city of Melbourne, Brevard County, Florida. Cause of passing was due to failing health, and he passed away. So this is during the decades after his victory. Rathman was a regular visitor to the Indianapolis or Indy Motor Speedway, or IMS. So Indianapolis Motor Speedway, aka the Indy 500. During May each year, he drove the pace car several times. However, he missed the 100th anniversary celebration in 2011 due to failing health. He passed away on November 23rd, 2011, and he had reportedly suffered a seizure at his home days earlier and passed away at a hospice center in Melbourne. Melbourne, Brevard County, Florida. 72 miles southeast of Orlando along Florida's Space Coast. So Florida's Space Coast. So named because of the region's proximity to Cape, so named because of the region's proximity to both Cape Canaveral and the Kennedy Space Center. During the 2020 census, had a population of 84,678 people there. Jeez, it's a lot of people there in the Melbourne. So for those who don't know who he is, Jim Rathman, he was an American race car driver who competed primarily in championship cars. He's best known for winning the Indy 500 in 1960, emerging victorious after a race-long duel with Roger Ward. So Roger Ward, there we go. His full name is Roger Morris Ward. Born January 10th, 1921, in the city of Beloit, Mitchell County, Kansas. And the 2020 census had only a population of just 3,404 people. Less than 3,500 people. Such a low amount of people. Passed away July 5th, 2004, age 83, in the city of Anaheim in Orange County, California, part of the greater LA, Los Angeles area. It's the 10th most populous city in California and the 57th most populous city in the whole entire U.S. So in the entire United States. So he passed away from when did he? This should be um uh should be some info there. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh God, where is it? I don't think it says in there. Well, hold on. Um, so he passed away at age 83 on July 5th, 2004, but it doesn't say like the cause of it. Uh, should we? No, there's nothing on there. It's unusual. It would usually show like for racing drivers of how they passed away, like from what. Apparently for this one, it just doesn't say. Man, I don't know. So he was born. So Jim Rathman, a race car driver. His full name is Royal Richard Jim Rathman, born July 16th, 1928 in Alhambra, in the city of Alhambra in the western San Gabriel Valley region of L.A. County, California, 8 miles east from downtown L.A. So born July 16th, 1928 in Alhambra, California. Passed away November 23rd, 2011. And that was 2 years and 7 days before Paul Walker passed away. So Jim passed away in Melbourne, Brevard County, Florida, 72 miles southeast of Orlando along 72 miles southeast of Orlando along Florida's Space Coast. So back to the NASA Corvettes. So Jim Rathman, the Melbourne, Florida Chevy dealer, and both dealer and winner of the 1960 Indy 500, befriended astronauts such as Alan Shepard. Born November 18th, 1923. So November 18th, 1923, in the town of Derry in Rockingham County, New Hampshire. So he was born November 18th, 1923, in the town of Derry, Rockingham County, New Hampshire. Passed away age 74, July 21st, 1998, in Pebble Beach, which is a unincorporated community on the Monterey Peninsula in Monterey County, California. So around Monterey, pretty much. So in Monterey County, California, or Monterey, California, whichever you want to call it. Alright, so you have Alan Shepard. So Jim Rathman, the Melbourne, Florida Chevy dealer and winner of the 1960 Indy 500, befriended astronauts such as Alan Shepard, Gus Grissom, whose full name is Virgil Ivan Gus Grissom. There we go. Sorry, I just can get this confused sometimes. This is Virgil Ivan Gus Grissom, there we go. Born April 3rd, 1926 in the city of Mitchell. So Mitchell in Marion Township, Lawrence County, Indiana. So Marion Township, Lawrence County, Indiana. So Lawrence County, Indiana. Passed away January 27th, 1967. So January 27th, 1967. Age 40 in Cape Canaveral in Florida. So in Cape Canaveral, Florida. And this has info of how he passed away. So where is it? Where is it? Okay, let's see where is it. So before Apollo 1's planned launch on February 21st, 1967, the command module interior caught fire and burned on January 27th, 1967 during a pre-launch test on Launch Pad 34 at Cape Kennedy. Astronauts Grimson, White, and Chef, I can't pronounce it, but it's spelled Chaffee, who were working inside the closed command module were as high excited. I can't pronounce that word as well, but it's spelled ASPHYXIATED. During the test, Grimson said, how are we going to get to the moon if we can't talk between 2 or 3 buildings? Then shouted, fire. The fire's ignition source was damaged wiring. The pilots' deaths were attributed to lethal hazard. I can't even talk. To lethal. Whenever I can't talk, I just usually take a deep breath, so I just talk. So I try to do it properly. The fire's ignition source was damaged wiring. The pilots' death were attributed to lethal hazards in the early CSM design and conditions of the tests, including a pressurized 100% oxygen pre-launch atmosphere wiring, and plumbing flaws, flammable materials used in the cockpit and in the astronauts' flight suits, and an inward opening hatch that couldn't be opened quickly in an emergency and not at all with full internal pressure. Grimson's funeral services and burial at Arlington National Cemetery were held on January 31st, 1967. So January 31st, 1967, dignitaries in attendance included President Lyndon. It's like saying London, but taking out the O and putting the Y into it. So Lyndon B. Johnson, members of the U.S. Congress, and fellow NASA astronauts, among others. Grimson was interred at Arlington National Cemetery in Arlington County, Virginia, beside Roger Chaffee. I still can't pronounce it, but it's spelled CHAFFE. White's remains are interred at the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, New York. So yeah, Jim Rathman, a Melbourne, Florida Chevy dealer and winner of the 1960 Indy 500, befriended astronauts Alan Shepard, Gus Grimson, and Gordon Cooper. Born March 6th, 1927 in Shawnee, so in the city of Shawnee in Pottawatomie County. I can't pronounce that real well. So in Pottawatomie, or Pottawatomie County, Oklahoma. Passed away October 4th, 2004, age 77. That was a year, 2 months, and 10 days before I was even born. So he passed away October 4th, 2004, age 77, at Ventura, officially named San Buenaventura, Spanish for Saint Bonaventure, in the city of Ventura and the county seat of Ventura County, California. So Ventura County, California. So he passed away October 4th, 2004, age 77, in Ventura, officially named San Buenaventura, Spanish for Saint Bonaventure, which is in the city of Ventura in Ventura County, California. So back to Gordon Cooper. So he passed away at age 77 from heart failure. So heart failure at his home in Ventura County, California on October 4th, 2004. So we got Alan Shepard, Gus Grissom. There we go. I keep getting that confused all the time, getting it wrong. Why am I doing this? So Alan Shepard, Gus Grissom, and Gordon Cooper. Jim convinced GM President Ed Cole to set up a program that supplied each astronaut with a pair of new cars each year. Most chose a family car for their wives and a Corvette for themselves. So we got Ed Cole. His full name is Edward Nicholas Cole, born September 17th, 1909, in the unincorporated community of Marne, M-A-R-N-E, in Wright Township of Ottawa County, Michigan. So named after the capital of Canada, Ottawa. So Ottawa County, Michigan. So born September 17th, 1909 in Marne, Michigan. Passed away at age 67 on May 2nd, 1977 in Mendon, St. Joseph County, also in Michigan. So in Mendon, St. Joseph County, Michigan. So he was born and he passed away at Michigan. So nowhere else, just the same home place in Michigan. So how did he pass away? There should be something on there. Let's see. All right, so he passed away on May 2nd, 1977, at age 67, when he became disoriented. When he became disoriented while flying by instrument in foggy, rainy conditions, crashing in his twin-engine Beagle B206 near near Kalamazoo. So in a city in Kalamazoo County, Michigan. At the time of the crash, the FAA, or the FAA, had been investigating an incident on April 28th of that year, when Cole, who was instrument rated, became disoriented during another instrument landing. He was survived by his ex-wife and his wife in general, as well as his natural children, adopted children from his second wife's previous marriage, David E. and Cole Pierce and Robert Joseph. So David E. and Cole Pierce and Robert Joseph, and stepson William Jefferson William Jefferson McVee III. His funeral service was attended by more than 400 people, including both dignitaries and industry executives. Cole's wife, Dolly, routinely described as both forceful and dynamic, who later became a chief advocate of the NCM, National Corvette Museum. So if you guys want to check out the museum, um, the location for this is in Bowling Green, Kentucky, off Interstate 65's exit 28, and near General Motors' Bowling Green assembly plant, where the Corvettes were manufactured there. So a little bit about this. So the NCM, so the National Corvette Museum, showcases the Chevy Corvette itself, an American sports car that's been in production since 1953, located in Bowling Green, Kentucky, off Interstate 65's exit 28, and near GM's Bowling Green assembly plant in Bowling Green, Kentucky, where Corvettes are both manufactured. It was constructed in 1994. It was opened to the public in September of that year. And there's also a little bit about the sinkhole in the museum itself. And 8 Corvettes were actually fell in there. And it was actually true. It was also mentioned in Top Gear. Don't forget about that. This is early 2014, actually, 2 days before Valentine's Day. So on February 12th, 2014. So I might do a little bit of a video about the NCM, National Corvette Museum. Maybe. I don't know, but I'll find out. So, okay, what's next? So yeah, so back to the Corvettes. Rathman convinced GM President Ed Cole to set up a program that supplied each astronaut with a pair of new cars each year. Most chose a family car for their wives and a Corvette for themselves. In his memoir, Memoir, Last Man on the Moon, Gene Cernan, born March 14th, 1934 in Chicago, Illinois. So born March 14th, 1934 in Chicago, Illinois. Says Eugene Andrew Cernan. Passed away January 16th, 2017 at age 82 in Houston, Texas. So his passing was caused by, when was it? So he passed away in a hospital in Houston. But it doesn't say how. Apparently. I don't know. So that's Alan Shepard, Gus Grissom, oh my god, and Gordon Cooper. Rathman convinced GM President Ed Cole to set up a program that supplied each astronaut with a pair of new cars each year. Most chose to set up a program. Say Rathman convinced GM President Ed Cole to set up a program that supplied each astronaut with a pair of new cars each year. Most chose a family car for their wives and a Corvette for themselves. In his memoir, Last Man on the Moon, Gene Cernan describes how this worked. The astronauts received brand new Corvettes, which they were given which they were given the option to purchase at a used price after they'd been driven 3,000 miles. Alan Bean, whose full name is Alan Laverne Bean, born March 15th, 1932, in the city of Wheeler in Wheeler County, Texas. Passed away at age 86 in Houston, Texas on May 26th, 2018. So he passed away from the sudden onset of illness 2 weeks before while he was in Fort Wayne, Allen County, Indiana. So his death followed the sudden onset of illness 2 weeks before while he was in Fort Wayne. Fort Wayne, Allen County, Indiana. So what was it? So the astronauts received brand new Corvettes, which they were given the option to purchase at a used price after they'd been driven 3,000 miles. Alan Bean recalls Corvettes lined up in the parking lot outside the astronaut offices at the Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas, and friendly races between both Shepard and Grissom along the Florida beach roads and on beaches as local cops turned a blind eye. Shepard, Grissom, and Cooper even pulled each other on skis in the shallow water. Both the Mercury and later astronauts were unofficially tied to the Corvette and appeared in official photographs with their cars and with mock-ups of space vehicles such as both the Apollo lunar module, or either that or the lunar roving vehicle. It's like the rover or something. I don't know how it's called for space. So usually they just take measurements and all that kind of stuff and just do more like technical assignments and whatnot. I don't know. I don't know how these space vehicles usually work. I'm not much of like a space enthusiast. I mean, I kind of am, but just not for these kind of vehicles I'm like not really used to. Anyway, so such as both either the Apollo lunar module or lunar, whatever you call it, roving vehicle. Cooper talked of the races along Cocoa Beach. So Cocoa Beach in his eulogy of Shepard at the Johnson Space Center in 1998. So during the late 90s, before the very early 2000s, Shepard, a longtime Corvette owner, was invited by then GM chief engineer Zora Arkozdantov to drive pre-production Corvette models. GM's executives later gave Shepard a 1972 model with a Bill Mitchell interior. So Zora Arkozdantov was an American engineer whose work on the Corvette earned him the nickname Father of the Corvette. He's sometimes erroneously referred to as the inventor of the Corvette. That title belongs to Harley Earl. He's also a race car driver, appearing at the 24 Hours of Le Mans 4 times and taking class wins in both 1954 and 55. So he was born in December 25th, Christmas Day, 1909, in the capital of Brussels in Belgium. Passed away on April 21st, 1996, age 86 in Grosse Pointe, Wayne County, Michigan. So his passing was, where is it? Doesn't say as well. What is going on? For some reason, for some people, it doesn't say like how they like passed away. Those are like race car drivers and all that kind of stuff. It depends on like what person it is though. I don't know. Apparently it doesn't say. Oh man. Yeah. Says Shepard, the longtime Corvette owner, was invited by then GM chief engineer Zora Arkozdantov. Zora Arkozdantov to drive pre-production Corvette models. GM's executives later gave Shepard a 1972 model with a Bill Mitchell interior. Okay, so that will pretty much be it for today. So for my next Corvette video will be about the concept cars. So that's gonna be pretty cool. Oh God, I'm just unbelievably tired right now. I don't know why. Oh well. So yeah, for my next Corvette video will be about the concept cars. And so that'll be it. If you guys like this video, like and subscribe, comment down below what you guys think, hit the notification bell, and hit all so literally when I make brand new uploads. Okay, so that'll be it. I'll see you guys soon in the next video. But until then, stay safe, have a great day, and I'll see you guys soon in the next video. So take care, folks. Stay safe out there. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.